Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel where today we are going to be talking about possible reasons your fish are dying. It's quite common when you get into the hobby that you bring some fish home and all of a sudden maybe the next day you find 3 or 4 and they've gone belly up. Let's get into some reasons this is happening. First reason, your tank is not cycled. Aquariums need beneficial bacteria in order to break down poop and food and other toxic materials that might enter your water. Think of it kind of like the human stomach. If you don't have that bacteria, you're going to get sick. So what you want to do is you want to just leave your filter running. Don't get fish yet, put some water in the tank, get your substrate, maybe even some plants, and just leave it. Leave it until your filter has had enough time to create a beneficial bacteria colony and you should be good to go. The other thing I'm going to throw out there is try to start out with plants. I know they seem kind of intimidating, but they'll really help you in the long run. They really help keep your water clean, and they just give fish a natural environment to hang out in. Second reason is parasites. Sometimes fish come in with parasites, and you'll see them itching themselves on maybe a piece of decor, or driftwood, or even on your plants. Now this can severely injure fish and lead to even bigger problems, and it'll often lead to them dying. Your solutions here are either quarantining the fish or going to the fish store to buy appropriate medication to treat them. So your tank's cycled, and you brought your fish home, and they still died on you. The reason is changes in parameters. When you get fish from chain stores, they've had a pretty big journey. So when you bring them home, they've gone from the farm to the fish store where hopefully they've been quarantined, then they've gone into a display tank to where you buy them and take them home to put into your tank. So they go through a lot. And these changes in parameters, fish hate it and often will die because of this. Solutions include drip acclimation, which is done by dripping water drop by drop into their bags before placing them into their new environments. Another reason can be sheer excitement for just being a fish owner in general. A lot of times when you get into the hobby, you bring your fish home and you notice maybe something is different than it was before. So you decide to put your hands in the tank to change a rock around or to change something around. So now what you've done is you've got all the oils from your arm into your water, which changes the parameters. Remember what we talked about changing parameters, and now you've got a dead fish.
There! We just put the sea people back in the tank with the others, and nobody will ever know.
So what you want to do is don't do anything. Set it and forget it. Leave it alone. You do not have the power to change nature in a second. You need to have patience with these things. I was guilty of this when I started in the hobby. Just remember the words. Set it and forget it. Now let's talk about aggression that happens in the fish tank. Sometimes when you go to a fish store, you've got an idea of what fish you want in mind, but they don't have it. So you decide on another one.
Holy cow, this could be 100-pound turtle.
You brought it home, and the next day, all of a sudden, you've got a dead fish. Be it the one you bought or another one in your tank that you had before. A lot of times, the fish at stores are labeled as community fish when in fact they are not good community fish. The flame gourami is a prime example of this. That is the worst fish to put into a community tank. It will wreak havoc. Worst part about it is it looks so nice. I love the look of that fish, but I would never buy it. There's even fish stores that don't carry it. If you run into a fish store that tells you that they don't carry flame gouramis, you have gone to a good fish store. Keep going there. Lastly, I'd like to mention that if you kill a fish, it is not the end of the world. You are not a horrible person. This is a learning process, and the more you learn, the better you will get at the hobby. Just do your research, have good intentions, and things will work out for you in the long run. Getting into aquariums was one of the best things that's ever happened to me, and I want it to be one of the best things that's ever happened to you too. This is Dan from Underwater Culture, and have yourselves a good night. That was a terrible outro. I need a catchphrase.